What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, how dare you? Then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Arwin, 10th Man, Spurs Chemo, and Flatzoid in the Google Plus Hangouts on air. How are you doing?
Hello.
Well.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're also joined by, I have to move my mic to read these tiny icons, Billy Bars, Brenda, Dougie, and who else we got? Earth-shaped investigator. A warm welcome to all of you on Discord.
Hello.
Hello. Very good to have you all. Who wants to kick off housekeeping? Who wants to kick off housekeeping?
I will.
Go
Any
ahead,
signs
take
of Earth curvature?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Next.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
Scientific evidence of what?
Nope.
Any
Scientific evidence of gravy tea?
Gravy
Sounds
tea?
disgusting.
Ugh. Sounds horrible. Do you want to ask one, Owen?
Nope. Oh, I mean, sure.
No.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
I'm going to trim out
No.
a little section from JLB where I think it was show 509. Basically 2 or 3 shows earlier, 504, 503, something like that. I'd pointed out that JLB's proof of geocentrism, i.e. antipodal star rotation, was an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If P, then Q, Q therefore P. If the Earth is a sphere, we will observe antipodal star rotation in the southern and northern hemisphere. We observe antipodal star rotation in the northern and southern hemisphere, therefore the Earth is a sphere. So it assumes its outcome, antipodal star rotation, denoted by the word hemisphere. So this was pointed out, and then JLB actually came on to debate his fallacy, and every time it got to the stage that we were tying him down, he rumpused and obfuscated. It was quite funny, but I'm going to trim that out because it's just another toe tag basically. So I'm going to trim that out, and there's also another toe tag for Toady Liley. So I'll trim that one out as well over the weekend. So those will come in the next day, probably tomorrow, Friday. But yeah, axial rotation. Shout out to JLB affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. Other than that, no.
You can't do that, Nathan.
I can't do what?
You can't just make up what the other person's argument is and then apply a fallacy to it and pretend that that's any
Look
kind
who's
of intellectual
talking, Brenda.
honesty.
What do you mean?
Look
I
at
didn't just
talking.
make it up. I've just literally explained that on a show, he uses that fallacy. He uses the word
Well,
hemisphere.
Unless the person actually says that, you can't attribute a fallacy to them.
Yeah, he did.
Because what you
Well,
do is you
eschew a
make
natural phenomena.
up, you
Not listening.
invent
Yeah, he did.
their
He did.
argument
You-
for
you're
them.
not listening
you
to
invent
me.
their argument
Yeah,
for
you're
them.
correcting me on something I haven't done. He did. What do you want?
Yeah, but you do it all the time. You do this all the time.
Shut Brenda up. I'm not interested in her throwing accusations at me. She's just said I can't put basically words in JLB's mouth. when you use the word hemisphere, trying to prove that you're on a antipodal situation sphere, then that's affirming the consequent. I'm not putting words in his mouth. That's what he did.
Yeah. You don't understand logic or logical fallacies, and you put words in people's mouths all the time.
No, I didn't. Do you want to give me an example? Go and get one. Hold on.
You just gave an example.
No, I did not. I gave an example of him using the word hemisphere to prove his point in terms of antipodal star rotation and how that's an affirming the consequent.
Yeah, that's not a logical fallacy. To use the word hemisphere is not a logical fallacy.
Using the word hemisphere when you're trying to prove that we're on a sphere, that's affirming the consequent. That's precisely what it is.
No, it's not. You have to show that it's actually fallacious, and you can't do that.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, really?
If P,
So
then
what does
Q.
hemisphere?
Let's do it. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. If the Earth is a sphere, P, we will observe antipodal star rotation in the north and south hemisphere, Q. We observe antipodal star rotation in the north and south hemisphere, Q. Therefore, the Earth is a sphere. That is an affirming the consequent, formal, logical fallacy. Now, you don't have to like it, Brenda, but I absolutely understand what this fallacy is.
That is the fallacy, but you're just putting words in people's mouths.
Do you want to give me an example of where I've done that?
You just did it.
To who?
To the person you're talking about.
And have you watched that video?
Example. I don't know who that person
and you've watched
is.
that video, have you? To accuse me of putting words in that person's mouth over the period
well, you're
of...
you're
You're not going to let me finish my answer, so let's just shut her up and say, you haven't watched that 3-hour video, as I have done this morning. So I know what he was saying, and I know where his fallacy lies. I've also seen him use it many times before, as described only moments earlier, was detailed on a previous show, how he assumes his outcome of sphericity. So this was detailed to him, which is why he came on the show in the first place. He also did it in one of his videos. He used that exact fallacy. And I put a comment to JLB detailing, with his own words, how he affirmed the consequent in one of his comments. And again, off the back of that comment, which was discussed in that video, about how he affirmed the consequent, yeah, that was all discussed in that 3-hour 2 hangout, which you've not watched, when you claim I've put words in people's mouth. Brenda, you're just making shit up that you don't know to level accusations at me that aren't true.
Yeah. Do you know the difference between modus ponens and modus tollens?
So she's not going to concede that she's just made a load of shit up, claimed that I'm putting words in people's mouth, even though I've literally just spent the last 3 hours going through those 2 hangouts to find out what was said and the circumstances in which they were said. And my memory doesn't fail me. JLB affirmed the consequent. I pointed it out to him because he was literally challenging people to explain why we have antipodal south hemisphere rotation. That was his challenge. Nobody's ever been able to explain this affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy to me. And then I explained it to him in his comments, Brenda. But you're just going to move the subject on to something else now, asking me about a different fallacy. Yeah, I understand affirming the consequent. JLB was guilty of it. I'm going to trim it out and put it out for an audience. Maybe. It's not exactly the most concise thing. It's spread out over 3 hours. So, nevertheless, you're just wrong. You've just levelled an accusation at me that's not true, Brenda. It's outrageous. Now you want to move on. What have you got to back your assertion? What have you got to back your assertion that I'm putting people's words in people's mouth?
What hangout was this, please?
Why are you asking me? You already know I've put words in his mouth. You surely have watched it before you levelled your accusation at me that I've done this.
No, you do it all the time.
So she's not watched it. She hasn't got the slightest clue what was said, but she's going to make a positive assertion that I'm guilty of putting words in people's mouths. She hasn't even watched it. Now she's asking me to go and look at it. What an outrage.
Was this one of your live streams?
Why are you asking me questions? You've already accused me of something based on this particular series of hangouts. Now you're asking me where they are so you can watch them. You stupid bitch. Fuck you. Get out of my fucking hangout, you stupid bitch. How fucking dare you? You haven't got the slightest idea what you're talking about, and you've just positively accused me of putting words in somebody's mouth when I haven't. So piss off. You stupid bitch. You lying bitch. Don't accuse me of that, you lying bitch.
Wait,
How dare
Don't
you,
worry,
Brenda?
she thinks the
Brenda?
shoe is a natural phenomenon.
How
are
dare
you
you?
saying Brenda is lying? Oh
Yeah,
my
she just
God.
accused me of putting words in someone's mouth.
Holy
And then
shit.
when I ask her, where have I done that? She asks me where to find the hangout that I'm talking about and what number it is and just says, oh, you do it all the time. What bloody outrage. Dumb
She's a
bitch.
complete fantasist, loony bin, professional straw man creator. She just
She is a
makes
phenomenon.
straw man as therapy every day. Comes back with more straw man. She doesn't mind if you burn them down as long as she can keep on making them.
Yeah, that's why I kicked her out. You know, she's not going to say, oh, yeah, okay, I just made that shit up so I could level an accusation of you doing something wrong. No, she's not going to concede that. She's just going to ask me what a different fallacy is, what modus tollens is. Oh, piss off. Get out. Don't accuse me of that shit. I'll start making shit up about you, Brenda. See how you bloody like it. Who wants to ask the next
Probably
housekeeping
enjoy
question?
it in a weird way.
So, we moved on
She's a
from...
masochist after all.
Yeah, she is masochist. Moving on, that was axial rotation. My apologies for the swearing. It does piss me off when people just make shit up about me, though.
I don't let her on the early bird show anymore, and she almost tries to get on with me every day, and I know exactly what she's going to be doing, and I just don't want to do that anymore.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth? We're waiting.
Holding out
Too
hope.
much presuppose.
Hey, Darren, how you doing?
Afternoon, Nathan. Thank God you've got rid of Brenda.
Well, I'll tolerate her from one point until she just starts making stuff up. And then it's like, no, if this is how it's going to continue, just get out. I can't be asked to have my blood pressure raised and me start swearing, breaking the rules of the hangout myself, because I can't leave or be kicked out. So,
But that's her sole intention.
She's obviously pissed me off, right? That's why I'm swearing. That's the whole point of that rule. Usually, the point that someone starts swearing is where they've lost control. I'm absolutely no different. At the point that I'm absolutely outraged with what she's claiming at me, it's like, that's why I'm swearing. Why the hell should I have to put up with that? It's my show. I'll just get rid of her. So don't make up a load of lies about me, Brenda. You haven't got the vaguest clue where your accusation's coming from. You're asking me after the fact. This is it. She's already wound me up, right? She's won at this point. No, there's no evidence of any molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. But I do hold out hope. Hopefully somebody in Discord will come one day. We never know.
We need a mad scientist making a strong drill bit.
Hey, Paige.
G'day, Nathan.
G'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Was it yourself that made the comment about Spurs?
Which comment?
Oh, of course you weren't here. I forget the after show's not broadcast, we're just recording. Before the show went live, Paige, we were talking about, I think it was you, in either comments or the live feed. I think it was you, were saying that Spurs is just basically throwing the baby out with the bathwater, is rejecting everything like nothing's true anymore. Was that you?
No, that was
No.
me. On my show. Never mind.
Sorry, Paige, Arwin spoke for you.
That's all right. No, that wasn't me. I think I said something about him losing the plot, but nothing about baby with the bathwater.
No, I thought you'd commented to say, oh, he's just basically rejecting everything. It's got to the point where he doesn't want to believe anything's true. Afternoon, people. Good day, Paige.
Yes. I did say that. Yeah, it's like he's gotten to the point where he's just questioning absolutely everything.
Yeah, I thought it was you.
Why? But why? That is the issue. Because he got pretty agitated when we started to basically push back. So I think he's doing it for a specific reason, not even the subjects themselves. He's trying to be manipulative. I don't like it. I don't like where he's going.
Out to Del West Watching.
It's because
Afternoon,
Brenda
people.
and
Good day,
Spurs
Paige.
are just trying to stall the whole process that you go through. every day.
G'day,
That's what-
Del.
Sorry, Darren, go ahead.
Yes, just because Brenda and Spurs are trying to derail the topic every single day. So that's why they just completely point blank to accept anything that we're saying.
Spurs is devil's advocate, you realise. He's on our side.
No,
What do you mean, no?
he used to be.
He is.
No,
I know
he's not.
Spurs. Spurs is not against us. He wants to exhaust the arguments. He's playing devil's advocate. He's very adept at it. He's out in their trenches. So, you know, just accept Spurs for what he is. He's a good guy. Don't knock Spurs. He's a good guy.
No, I have my doubts about that.
Oh my God, here we go. Somebody starts challenging the accepted rhetoric on the flat earth side, and next thing you know, they're a bloody shill. Or they're a disinfo agent, or blah,
What are
blah,
you talking about? I do that all the time.
blah.
No, I think Spurs just may be really worried about how many lies there are and what they've lied about. You know, like he's starting to think, oh my God, what else is there? You know?
I think he's doing it for political reasons and not for
Really?
subject-related reasons. Yes, not politics as in the government politics, but as in group
No,
politics.
I get you. Yeah.
He's not satisfied with quantum eraser basically taking up a foundational part of the discussion, and he wants to try to break it. Like
He's a
Bob in his
totally
way
different
tried,
kind
like
of
I in
person.
my way tried. A lot of people are trying, and now he's trying to do it by using John's rules against him. And up to a certain level, he has a good point with that, because there are issues that need to be worked through, but not by completely dispelling foundational sensory input things, like not believing pressure is a thing that's totally absurd. So it's no point. What he's doing is not effective.
I just wonder, does he have anybody else to talk to? Like, or does he, you know, did he have anybody else to talk to about this air pressure thing before he came on and just blurted out what he was thinking? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody had sat down and sort of had a chat to him, maybe he wouldn't have gone that far.
Oh, he's been talking about it on Discord. I think he even said he was.
Yeah, but not to, I mean, to somebody like a friend, somebody, you know, in real life. Not to,
Right.
Somebody to put
Because
their arm
that
around him and
worked
say, "Now, come on, Spurs. This is a bit much."
yeah, this is a
We're
bit
that
much.
friend.
Come on,
We are that friend. Paige. Spurs is. I've met
Oh,
Spurs.
okay.
Spurs is a good guy. You know, the fact that he'll explore all these nooks and crannies and go to some of these crazy ideas, I admire that. You know, that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
I do the same for
Yeah,
Arwin.
we have to keep.
Sorry, go on.
You have to keep your mind open now. There's too many things wrong with this world. You can't dismiss anything too quickly anymore.
Exactly. The fact that I can have those conversations with people like Arwin and with people like Spurs is I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, it might appear that I'm vehemently against whatever they're saying, but it's the information is exposed in the conversation. You know, so often people will be watching back, or I'll be watching back the after show, and I'll be in the live chat with everyone else, and people will be going bloody Arwin or bloody ever, just to take it off Spurs for a second, and I'll be like, no, you don't get it. We're having this conversation because of Arwin. In other words, the fact that he's on the opposing side and having to defend a position that I don't agree with or you don't agree with in the chat is a good thing. You know, it wouldn't be facilitated because of people like Spurs and Arwin.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how boring
disagreement
the world
is
would be if
basically
we all
ridiculous.
agreed?
Exactly, Paige. It would be very dull if everybody on the panel did actually agree with everything.
Yeah.
Can we at least agree on fundamental, logical reality, please?
Oh no, shut up, Arwin.
Right, before we get into all of that, I've got excellent flat earth proof. If you could share my screen, Nathan, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. You're on.
Excellent. So what we've got here is footage from Red Rhetorics. You all know well. And he's obviously taken some footage of Orion's launch abort tests. So interestingly enough, he followed the rocket. It went up, and then obviously something came down, and he followed what came down. Now that's where things become interesting. Now, let me play the video, and then we can discuss what we've seen.
Huh?
Keep watching. Excellent. I mean, let's try and let's probably put this in real time a little bit here. So obviously we've got the something falling from the sky, and Reds is kindly following that object for us, and he's doing the best that he can. He zooms out. We see the horizon line, and what's this? How is it possible to have a water level in level with the horizon? If the Earth is curving or water's curving away. So this is obviously beyond the horizon. And I think this is a great demonstration that the Earth cannot possibly be curving in any way. Panel?
What
Hey,
the
Chocolate.
hell was that rock?
Good presentation. Did you make your conclusion? I was trying to get older ranty, so I paid attention in the pre-show. But did you make the nice, concise conclusion?
When I did speak to Ranty, I said if you could come on and probably give a more comprehensive explanation. But what I'm seeing here is that the water line behind the horizon is at the same level, suggesting that it doesn't curve as they describe. If you want to condense or concise that point, feel free to.
It shows it's flat.
Yep.
Spurs, do it like you did in the pre-show, where it's just before it hits the water. That was the best one.
Okay, let's try catch that. Let me slow it down. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, the
You gotta
inferior
go to-
mirage of whatever it is that's falling.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Chocolate.
You.
Okay, give me a second. Slow it down. Rewind. Okay.
Ranty has responded. I'm hoping he'll join.
Excellent. I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to give a more detailed explanation. But let me try and pause it just as it enters the water.
You might have to drop it into quarter speed to catch it.
There we go. Is that good
No,
enough?
you caught it. Yeah, you've caught it. Well done.
Yeah, that one there.
Yeah, I'll just circle with my mouse for the audience's benefit what we're talking about. So the inferior mirage below this capsule. So here's the capsule we're talking about. Here's the inferior mirage, meaning that there's a fold line between these two, which is above the water line. So in other words, the water's extending up to this. I'm not going to steal any thunder. Hello, Runty.
Howdy doody.
Excellent, excellent.
Is your, just before we move on, is your screen sharing? Can you see Spurs Chemo's Red Rhetoric footage?
Yeah, hang on just one sec. I've got a lot of feedback coming from you. There we go. Right, sorry. Yeah, I've actually, Spurs told me about it, so I've actually just downloaded the video. I've clipped it down, recorded it in 4K, and I've actually paused it on the part where you see the inferior mirage. So if you want me to share my screen.
If you've got it in better definition, then yes, please. Oh, we've got Adam as well. Hello, Adam.
Hey.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi, Adam. This is going to cause ripples because, like I say, I don't think Red suspected, this kind of observation. He's just looking at, the object falling towards the ocean. So this will take a lot of explaining.
Have you called up his flat Earth proof he's posted, Spurs?
Yes, absolutely.
I saw that the other day.
It's great. It's great. Randy?
Yeah. So yeah, what's interesting here is I've slowed it down.
Hold on a second. Somebody's playing with their mic. Just start once more, and then hopefully everyone will go on mute.
Okay, so I've only ever seen it a couple of times, literally in the last 10 minutes, but I was quick enough to just download it and see what I needed to see, which was basically, if I play the video now, you see it coming down, and whoa, what's that? I paused it on that frame, obviously, took a screenshot of it, and what you have is this inferior mirage way down here. Now, let me just go back a few frames and you'll see, as it's coming down, it doesn't actually meet the water. So the inferior mirage has happened above the perceived horizon. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. It's everything that we've been saying for the past, year or so about this inferior mirage.
And what is that,
Ranty? As it follows down. Watch this. You know it's not going to hit the water. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Boom, inferior mirage, and it's still not got down.
Ranty, can you go one more? That's it, just a little. Another
look
one.
at that. Oh, you missed
Look
it.
at that.
No, we had it on. We had it on for one frame, Adam. There we go.
Yeah. And then see what I didn't see the inferior mirage. I just saw it and thought, oh look, it disappears. And then the splash appears, but it disappears actually where it should still be visible. So if you go one more frame.
Yeah, so if we go to the next frame, which is, oh, hang on, right there. Hang on, let me just play it. Be easier. There we go. So it's just disappeared basically. So what we get is it stretches. So this is it stretching. So it's changed its composition, or the look of its composition anyway. This is what it looks like prior. Then it goes into this inferior mirage. It's still not hit the water yet. Then it turns into this. It gets stretched, just like here, or partially. Some of it's missing even, it could be. And then it completely vanishes behind the inferior mirage. And then we get the splash. Boom.
And Ranty, even if you look at the splash as it comes down, it starts to reflect. What's the entire splash? What's the water as it comes back to the water, back to the surface?
There's a nice mirage on the bottom of the splash, isn't there, Spurs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Excellent. You could zoom. Yeah.
You got it there, look there.
So, Ranty, can you draw your conclusions? I don't know if you were listening to Spurs doing the same, but I'm hoping you'll do this really concisely in regards to flat Earth proof, but globe Earth debunking, etc., etc.
Well, the absolute proof for anything about this is that we can track this object falling from the sky down to the floor. So we have a object that we can track, and we, watch this, we can track it falling, track it falling, track it falling. And when I stop it, it still hasn't reached the water yet. It's still not splashed. And we get another frame of this object further down, proving that we're still seeing the object. The fact we're getting this inferior mirage here proves that all that blockage is behind the inferior mirage. Slam dunk. Thank you very much, Red's Rhetoric. Things do disappear from the bottom up behind the inferior mirage, and this proves it. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't deny the evidence of your own eyes, Red's Rhetoric. Excellent, excellent flat Earth proof. Thank you very much indeedy do.
I mean,
I bet Tim Osborne will try to say that's not right.
It doesn't get much better than that because, like I say, usually the boats are going away from you and you're looking at that, so they have an excuse. But when the object, like you say, Ranty, is coming down, I mean, we could even get the actual GPS. If we wanted to be really picky, we could say, well, Red, where is it falling from? We could model this, right? They would have to model this on their ball and show how it lands, how it would land, and all those types of things. And we can see clearly here as it hits the water, that water level is level with the horizon, which would be impossible on a ball.
Wow.
Ranty, can you just pause it there, look? You should be able to get a clearer line of where the mirage line is now, where you can see where the two concave bits of the splash.
Yep, I can definitely see that.
Mirror line, shouldn't it?
Yep, absolutely, and it's consistent with where the inferior mirage starts on the first frame that I froze. Yeah, just brilliant. So anything behind that, literally anything behind it is disappeared. It's gone behind the inferior mirage. Now, if we know that the speed of this object as it's falling, and we've got about a frame and a half once it goes behind the inferior mirage, it's about a frame and a half of it before it hits the water. We see the water splash up. So we can maybe work out the distance that it would have traveled in that one frame or 1.5 frames, and then apply that as a function of how much has been hidden. So if it was traveling at, say, in one frame it traveled 100 meters, we could say, well, everything that was 100 meters and below would have been hidden behind the inferior mirage. And we can get that with the tracking. If we knew where Reds was and where this object actually hit the water, we should be able to figure that out.
Might be able to do it from the frames and just the approximate size of the object that's falling.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, look at that. There's obviously the inferior mirage is there. You actually see it.
What would be interesting is
boom there.
is what would obviously we know what they're going to say, but a ball earther's perspective on this now. What would they expect to see? Would they expect to see? To them, is this normal? Are they going to say, "Oh, we expect to see this on a ball anyway"? What would their view be on why the water level is?
Well, they didn't see the impact. They didn't see the impact. They saw the splash from the impact, but they didn't see the impact itself. The impact itself was hidden behind that inferior mirage.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And it'd be interesting just to hear how they respond to that, right? Just to hear what they have to say and like how they would explain this on their model. It's not like a boat now. This is completely different from a boat. We've never had something like this, this distance, falling from such a high height, hitting something behind the so-called horizon. Yeah.
Well, let's just thank Res Rhetoric for this, because he filmed it in 4K as well. So awesome.
Yeah.
No shaky camera, even the horizon's level. I mean, he did such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm just going to do a quick shout out. So, shout out to Jennifer Winterburn for hitting the super chat. Really appreciate your support, Jennifer. Thank you very much indeed.
Good spot there, Chemo.
So, can we still haven't actually rattled our way through all of the housekeeping questions. Any evidence of the R value?
I'll give you an answer, Nathan. A naught. No, not a lot. Zilch, that's the big O. Not a sausage, not a drop, not the tiniest spot.
Have you done the gravity one yet, Nathan? Did I miss that
Spurs ruined it.
He's ruined, didn't he?
He ruined it.
It's just still got the disease.
We have done the gravity one, yes, but no. Well, at least we got to the end of housekeeping on this episode. I'm going to do a couple of quick shout-outs because tomorrow the show on this channel, Nathan Oakley 1980, will be the Uncut and After show at 10 o'clock. So that's a pre-record for tomorrow's show, but without going into the boring details, be sure to check out Iron Realm Media Friday, which is tomorrow, at 10 p.m. No, sorry, 10:30, correct? 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, what a show! What a show it's gonna be. Do you agree, Chocolate?
Yes, sir.
So
as always, the pre-show on a Wednesday, we had a right old natter last night, Nathan, because Chocolate's going to come on this Friday, and who knows? We kind of left it up in the air. We're not really sure what we'll chat about, but we're looking forward to having Chocolate on for a long time. There's been lots of false dawns, so yeah, it's Chocolate saying evening.
That's 10:30 p.m. UK time on Iron Realm Media. So Chocolate Sane is the guest. Be here or be sphere, as they say. The other one is Ballbusters, so 8 p.m. UK time, Saturday, so the day after tomorrow. Ballbusters. We're dropping anchor a little bit on the Coriolis effect, and also, I've plugged this already, Ranty, so I'm hoping Ranty's going to have a little presentation together. He's been putting it together over the last couple of days, and on that subject, did I tell you, Ranty, that Anthony called me all excited this morning on the phone?
No.
Not like Anthony to call me on the phone. He doesn't often phone me from his phone, but he's obviously we wanted to make sure he got hold of me, and he's phoning me up going, "Have you heard this that Ranty's gone through?" And I was like, "Yeah, you were on the call for Ballbusters yesterday for a few minutes." He's like, "It's amazing." I said, "Yeah." As soon as he explained it to me, I went and grabbed my wife and told her. I think it's fantastic. So with a bit of luck, we will also have a presentation from Ranty Flat Earth on Ballbusters of what I consider is quite close to my heart for reasons I won't go into because it will give the game away. But close to my heart, Flat Earth proof, which, although it has been detailed by another very small, very unknown YouTuber, Ranty's going to have gone to the effort of actually putting it together in a proper presentation and explaining it in ways that make it very clear and concise over the course of maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But that'll be on Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time. Ballbusters on Saturday. Be here or be sphere.
What are you doing tomorrow, Nate?
What am I doing tomorrow? I'm going to be on your show, aren't I, Ranty?
Are you actually going to do a presentation, Nathan? I think this will be a first.
I don't know what I'm going to do. So, as much as my
It
intention...
has to be a presentation, Nathan.
Okay, well, it might get delayed then. If I don't get a chance to actually put a presentation together, let's not mention that just in case I don't get time to do it. But I will be on
You'll
Ranty
have
Flat
to answer
Earth.
questions, Nathan, from the audience.
Yeah, that's not like that's an issue as I do it daily, Spurs. That's not really a problem.
So Ranty holds no bars. He'll, throw them thick and fast, right?
I'm sure that's fine. But at some point soon, I'll be on Ranty's round table addressing something. But nevertheless, I haven't got a presentation together yet, so I don't want to say I'm going to be there on Friday. I might be there on Friday tomorrow. We'll see.
You can knock it together, Nathan.
Time. Big issue for me, time.
Time's a problem for everyone, Nate.
Time is just a concept.
As I was just about to plug the early bird as well. So also, as we're plugging shows, Ranty Flat Earth, check out his Ranty's Round Table, which is on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 PM UK time. So check it out. That's a new show with a schedule. All of these shows are scheduled. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Ranty's Round Table, 6 PM UK time, Ranty Flat Earth channel, Be Here or Be Sphere. And then we've got, last but by no means least, Arwin, ARWIJN channel, which runs the Flat Earth Early Bird before each of these debates daily. So at 1 PM UK time, an hour before the debates start, Arwin warms them up with a cup of tea.
Yep. Indeed, I do. And I'm always ready to help people wake up with a good question and answers. So.
Okay, great. I mean, as flat earthers, we should be able to discuss these things. Now, 10th man, are you here? Hope you're here. And Arwen, actually, and even Chocolate. I think we should be able to discuss this idea, I say idea, of gas pressure, without the huge fallout, without the, the anguish, because it's something that we all don't understand, and it's something that we've all been told. Just like we've been told about the spin of the Earth, we've been told there's curvature, we've been told there are forces that exist, okay? Now, I'm trying to find the difference between this pressure, this force, that a number has been applied to that force, that pressure, something that we do not feel, see, or recognize in nature. Hold on a second.
Let him get to the end.
Yeah,
let him get to the end.
Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, something we do not see or recognize in nature. Now, as I understood, the scientific method would answer phenomena in nature. So we do not see in nature random gases pressurized.
Geysers.
But do those
geysers?
All right, hold on. Do those geysers hold that pressure?
Yep, the mud packets, which is why you see bubbles.
So they bubble.
Yeah. Well, what's a bubble?
So they don't hold the pressure. They don't hold that bubble.
What bubble is? We went through this yesterday. Paul showed you. That's what bubble is.
It doesn't stay there forever. We could build a chamber, pressurize it, and it would stay pressurized.
Yeah, because it's built of a more solid substance. That's to do with the construct of the container, its quality and its time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In nature, though, things wither. And obviously, we don't see in nature a vacuum, we don't see gas pressure in a container, just naturally.
But we already have a container. So you
hold on, Paige. Sorry, just Adam and Spurs, please.
Yeah, for me, well, she's saying which is what we say. Well, we're in a container. I mean, again, that's the same as the Ball Earth is saying. We have space, we have a curvature. They're begging the question. They're affirming, already what's happening without actually researching what the dome is made of. If the dome, we don't know if the particles that hit the dome go into the dome and not bounce back. We haven't been there. So how can we possibly?
Dome.
Exactly.
Hold on. Just because someone else has interrupted. Arwin. Just let Adam and Spurs go at it, please.
I don't mind Armin.
Very aggravating to sit through this shit.
You should have been quicker. Adam was the first to respond. So just, Adam's addressing his issues, and I want him to.
I don't really. I mean, it's very scattergun, Spurs, when you're saying too much and raising too many points to address. But what is it you're searching for? If you're not after, are you after a complete equivalence? So almost like a micro world, as an example. Because I'm not sure why you're seeing fault in the examples unless you're after, like, say, a full equivalence of the sky. An explanation for the sky. There's a difference between that and asking for a natural example of contained pressure, which is what I think I gave you, so that it can be demonstrated, it can occur naturally. But to try and draw an equivalence from anything you see there to what is probably not going to have an equivalence within nature, that doesn't mean it doesn't have the possibility of existing. In fact, its existence fits with natural laws. So is that what you're searching for, a true equivalent example?
No, I'm saying that we've been told things exist that we cannot sense, measure, any of these outside of our senses. But obviously you're saying a machine or a device will tell you that this is a reality. Because for you to even entertain gas pressure, you would have to have seen that somewhere to say, oh, I wonder how that gas pressure...
Really?
Your whole body is covered with pressure sensors. Why do you think your fingers sense things when you try and pick them up? Now, there's a natural zero point. There isn't really a 0 point. It's only a 0 point because your body resets so that you're not getting sensory input 24/7. So standard atmospheric pressure would be your 0 point, where you wouldn't get nerve stimulation of sensory input. But if you were to change atmospheric pressure, put yourself up a mountain, etc., that is noticeable. And your skin it's one of the most amazing organs. It's full of temperature sensors, pressure sensors, many things. I'm struggling to understand the point you're making, Spurs, because
I'm listening, Adam.
Yeah, do you understand? So yeah, I heard you say that yesterday, and I didn't understand why you're saying it doesn't exist, it's not experienceable, because it is something that is. I mean, the easiest and most. Oh shit! Sorry.
It's literally.
Hold on 1 second.
Desensitizing.
Hold on. The one you're causing a shed load of feedback.
Sorry, Nathan, that was my fault.
It's the one. Jesus wept. Try to mute your watch page before you join. Carry on, Adam.
Yeah, you spoke about pressure sensors and pressure pads. Yeah, so do we feel that pressure when we're standing here at sea level? Do we feel pressure when we climb a mountain? I would say no. I think the only thing that we... obviously the pressure is less as you go up.
I think that might have been me as well, Nathan. No, it might have been me as well. I've got...
Don't worry. It's all sorted.
Am I not coming through? Or?
Yeah, everything's fine. Just the one destroyed that conversation. Just joining with his watch page open. Okay.
Spurs, why does your ears pop?
Because of blood pressure.
What?
No, that's nothing to do with blood pressure. That's to do with the difference between the outside atmospheric pressure and the slightly contained pressurized system within the Eustachian canal, which is the thing that links the back of your throat to your inner ear. That's what you have, that pressure difference. And as that pressure difference, following the law of entropy, tries to equalize, as it tries to escape, that's why you feel that pain and discomfort.
If I chewing gum, my ears pop.
Okay, so that what you're doing there is by masticating, you're working that area, that small pressurized pipe that has a release thing, and it allows small amounts of pressure release as you chew, as you're going up, and as you swallow. That forces and helps a consistency of the pressure equalization. But if you don't, and then you leave it to the point where there is a big pressure differential, that's when you feel the discomfort as a large volume of air tries to work its way through to equalize the pressure.
So it's nothing to do with pressure. If I can chew gum and prevent that pressure. It shouldn't matter what I do internally.
You're not preventing that pressure, Spurs.
I can't even finish the sentence, Adam. I'm trying to say that
incorrect, mate.
The problem is, Spurs, that you're using the word pressure in your debunk of pressure and saying, well, if I can equalise the pressure, then that's not real pressure. Not only that, you know, we're continually describing containers that are natural. For example, the Eustachian tube canal itself is a container.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you can suck a sweet, a hard-boiled sweet. You don't have to chew gum. There are many ways to stop this ear popping.
No, it's not stopping it, Spurs. It's slowly equalising. As you're doing that, it's constantly equalising in small amounts because there's only a small pressure differential being created. If you don't suck and constantly small amounts equalise, which you won't feel the pressure differential, and just leave it, that's when you feel the big pressure differential because you've left it and not been slowly equalising. You're not preventing a differential. You're adjusting the differential constantly.
I would say that's temperature. You're causing friction, which causes
not temperature. It's ridiculous.
I realise how frustrating this is, Arwen. Hold on, guys. Look, just look. Hold on. Just try and contain your frustration. I know it's frustrating when he says things like that, Arwen, but try to contain it. I know it's annoying. I'm frustrated too. I know everyone on the panel probably is, but just let Adam go through it with him concisely and clearly.
I think I'm also at that point of frustration because I'm not actually having a debate with you, Spurs. I'm having to educate you on the basics, and your point of argument seems to be coming wholly from misconceptions that I don't know where you've got them from. So there isn't really a debate to have. It's you really kind of need to look in to this thing, I think, and get a bit of detail to actually present, because we're having to re-educate a misconception, not discuss a point you're raising. I'm not being rude there. I'm just trying to...
It's fine. The misconception is that everybody's ears pop. This is not true. Depending on your health, your blood pressure will depend on whether your ears pop or not. Now, that's what you need to research, Adam. You're suggesting that everybody who goes up high altitude, their ears pop instantly just like that. That doesn't happen. It depends. Pilots, for example, when they fly with the right training, their ears do not pop. You can research this. This is just something to do with your health. And if you're an unhealthy person who gets on a plane, sits in the airport for 3 hours waiting for your plane, eating gassy eating gassy foods, gassy drinks, and then you get on the plane, well, when they change the pressure at 5 psi, of course there'll be temperature change. The plane also is at 23 degrees. The body temperature is supposed to be at 37, 36, something like this. So they make it colder in the plane. So that's going to have an effect on your body anyway. And I
do want Adam to respond, but I just want to do a couple of shout-outs. So shout-out to Julio Pabon for hitting the super chat. Happy birthday to me. The earth is flat. Well, happy birthday to you, Julio Pabon. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat on your birthday. Really do appreciate it. Trish Blythe, dive down underwater.
Tell me when we are at the 33rd floor, because
my bad. Just shouting out my guest super chats. My bad. Just asked you all if I could do it, and then started and was in the middle of it. My bad. So shout out to Trish Blythe. Says, dive down underwater, you will feel pressure. Shout out to Trish Blythe for hitting the super chat. I've just got one question, then I want Adam and Spurs to continue. So, what is a pop, Spurs?
A pop?
Yep.
What do you mean, what is a pop?
I mean, what's the pop? What is it? What's happening that causes
What's the cause of a pop?
Yeah, any pop. Blow up a bag, paper bag, and then go bang. What causes it to go bang or pop?
Yeah, there's a force, yeah? What's that force that causes the pop?
I'm asking
so
you.
If I drop on a crisp packet, I'm the cause of why it went pop. It didn't just pop on its own, did it?
Well, what is the pop itself? What's happening to cause the pop?
Well, that's what we need to find out. That's the question. Because we seem to think that an expansion of gases is happening, where we don't
expansion
know
of gases.
Temperature.
Right. So suddenly something gets pressurized and then is released, and it causes a pop.
Well, when we have water in a vacuum, why does it boil?
No. Just let's stick to this one thing. What's a pop? What's happening that makes something go pop?
Find this pop, because like I said, when you look at these things under the microscope, what you actually think is happening is actually a temperature change, not a pressure change.
But Spurs, when you jumped on the bag of crisp, you said it pops, right? He's asking you, why does it pop?
Yeah, why? Why did it pop?
It has nothing to do with temperature,
Well,
right? You're not going to say it has to do with temperature.
There was too much heat in that bag. The air was very hot and was trying to
Heat in the bag.
Hold on. What was applied? Hold on, chocolate. Hold on. Just Spurs. What was applied to the bag when you held it in one hand in a fist, closed, and then brought your other hand towards the bag? What was applied? Was it heat or was it pressure?
A force.
A pressure?
Yeah.
You pressing on it rapidly?
Yeah, rapid means heat.
No, it doesn't.
When something moves quickly,
I'm done.
it's hot.
Hold on, I just want to check if Adam's got
this.
anything further, because Adam, have you got anything more?
No, I think respectfully against Spurs, we're back to educating you what a pop is, mate, just to get.
Yeah, well, this is the beauty of this. The beauty of this is that these are both ideas. None of us have
That's your differential finding in
just wanna
equilibrium, you moron.
Look, Adam's taken his time to go through it with him. I just want to hear his concluding remarks. Can I just hear them, and then it's free for all? Arwin, you'll go next, I promise.
Why so triggered, Arwin? Calm down.
Arwin's ace. Leave me alone.
I think Spurs, it's very difficult to have the conversation because we'd have to now go and explain to you why any thermal changes with regards to the pop and the rupturing caused by pressure has got sod all to do with any real thermodynamic changes. It's not relevant in any consideration.
Damn, why did you have to say that? That's not
How
true.
do we demonstrate that, though?
Hold on, I've got to correct bloody Adam now. I can't believe I'm doing this. The two are intrinsically linked, Adam.
Of course, but what I'm saying is any thermodynamic change within that thing, that phenomenon you observe there, when it goes pop, the thermodynamic change, the delta T, is insignificant, but the delta P, the pressure change from the low pressure, even though it's higher than atmospheric, within the bag, and then when you compress the bag, reducing the volume and therefore increasing P, that is the thing. That increase of the force and the force pressure is the thing that ruptures because it becomes greater than the tensile strength of the bag. That's what's been observed. There's no real significant. There is a small amount of enthalpy change that you could take into consideration, but in terms of any relevance of the description of that event, temperature changes is irrelevant.
Hold on. That was his conclusion, and I just want to give him props because that was ace with all the caveats. After I got a little frustrated, so well done, Adam, with all the caveats I wanted. Superb.
Now, Adam, the force that's hitting my face, or the pressure, sorry, that's hitting my face from the atmosphere. What force? What's the cause of this?
It's a molecule which is loaded with its own internal energy striking you.
How do you demonstrate this? How do you demonstrate this, Adam?
There is no direct demonstration because we can't see molecules. The closest approximation you'll have is a description of Brownian motion, which if you look that up, that will try to give you a model of
a model.
Oh yeah, it's the closest. It's the closest that, because as I said, in science we can't see molecules.
So hold on, Adam. So Adam, please look. You're saying there is something that exists. You think it's there. We can't measure it. We can't sense it. But you just know it's there, and we have to believe it just because.
Except for all the descriptions we gave you on how to measure and sense it,
you're giving me your
ignoring every time.
But no demonstrations. Should I just believe your words, Adam? Just say, okay, Adam, you're right. I believe you. Okay, let's move on.
Demonstration as in demonstrated to yourself.
Adam, can you demonstrate this for you to say, well, we can't actually see it. We can't actually demonstrate it, but you just have to believe what I say.
I can show you a demonstration which theorizes it demonstrates on a much smaller micro level, like I said, with Brownian motion, which uses the dust particles that you wouldn't ordinarily see, smoke particles, to demonstrate how gas, because gas is because smoke is acting.
I'm sorry to do a Nathan. Do we live in smoke?
You were asking
it's
for a
analogous.
demonstration.
It's just a way of showing it.
talking about atmosphere. You're saying there's an atmosphere pressing on my face, but
you're interrupting before I got to the point of what I was trying to explain to you. So if you want the preloaded statement of can I show you oxygen or any of the atmosphere molecules interacting, no, that's not been demonstrated by science ever. I think optically is impossible. But if you would like something which, like I said, slightly larger molecules, which are still acting in a gaseous way in the form of smoke, then you could look up Brownian motion, and that would show you how collision-based interaction is how gas particles are theorized to be based on our observations. To the best experiment, it's like I say, look at it, it's called Brownian motion.
Yeah, but Adam, I would rather deal with reality. I feel the sun hit my face. I can actually feel that when it hits, your body, your face. You can feel that. Now, you can also take a temperature measurement of that. You can because you know how hot you are. You can decide,
with what?
With what?
What you're taking the temperature
Correlation,
measurement?
not
With
causation.
a thermometer.
It's about to debunk with.
A thermometer, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying we don't even need a thermometer, do we?
I've got to summarise this because otherwise it'll run over the live amount I want. So he's just using the same equivalence with your temperature example, and he can pull it apart in the same way you are. It's ridiculous to do so, but rather than Adam having to do it just before the end of the live show, that's what he's about. That's what he's about to do. He's about to draw the exact same equivalence where you would say, oh, well, you've got to take a man-made device to get this arbitrary quantification with a number attached to it for the gas striking the container. Well, in the same way, he can do the same exact thing to you when it comes to temperature and just claim that doesn't mean anything when you feel the heat in the same way you'd feel the pressure.
What? You feel it, you feel the heat, the temperature, but you don't feel the pressure.
Yes,
This was the point, Spurs, that I started out with initially, where I said I was confused yesterday, where you appeared to be denying that we don't feel pressure, we don't have our skin, it doesn't feel pressure. And I think I'd just go back to that point that if you're going to make that statement, it's the same thing. Our skin is loaded with chemo, barrow, pressure, temperature sensors, all of these things that are linked then into our nervous system. And once again, we're at the point where, to make your point, you appear to be denying that we have pressure sensors in our body.
How about in our organs?
Adam,
How about in our organs? Our organs have pressure.
When we go underwater, we feel the pressure underwater, not in the atmosphere because there is no pressure. Those sensors are useful when there is actually a pressure on the body, not when there's not.
So you're right, Adam, in your summary. It is reaching the point where we will deny that you can sense pressure. Adam, Arwin, you can get the last word, and then I'm going to ask everyone to stay tuned if they're watching on Nathan Oakley. Go ahead, Arwin.
Right, so what Spurs chemo is basically trying to do is introduce a new housekeeping question: any scientific evidence of gas pressure. That's what he's trying to do.
That's exactly what I said today, that we're going to have a new housekeeping. Any evidence of
now you're going to have to get that new housekeeping question. We don't really see the point of it.
So I'm going to do a few shout outs. So shout out to JQ for hitting the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Shout out to Dank, who says, God bless you and thank you for tuning in to Flat Earth Debate. Also shout out to Stuart Pound. Peace. Look up. I'll have to get closer to the screen. Look up plant cell vacuole. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. And then last but not least, a shout out to Retro Bill for also hitting the super chat, who's put some emojis, unicorns and farts, I believe. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. One last shout out to Helio Pabon. Happy birthday to you. And I'll say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in, smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Another massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live debate possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on the premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!